Good morning, anyone that's already tuning in. Gonna go ahead and give it a few minutes, let a few people get connected before we get started here. And then I will come back on the mic. All right, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing this morning? Had a big sell-off overnight. Yesterday we had FMOC, and from FMOC we had a nice little run-up into the afternoon, right about 2 o'clock, 2:30. You can see right here on QQQ. Let me get this right. We can see right here on QQQ about 2:30, right when the minutes came out, it was very violent, bouncing back and forth, a lot of volatility. And then about 2:30, when Papa Pow came on, we saw a nice huge spike, and that carried out almost into close. Then same thing that happened with the last FMOC meeting happened with this one. We had a nice run up the day of, and then the day after we sold off, erasing all of those gains. So QQQ is going to be opening below yesterday's low, which is referenced by this yellow horizontal line here. And if we look at SPY, we're also opening below yesterday's low. So I'm going to try a orb, probably on one of the two. So we're about 370.70 on SPY right now, and the pre-market low is 369.40. So that's roughly about $1. And QQQ, we've roughly got about $1.50 between pre-market low, and then if we look at 614's low of 273.34, we've got about $2.50 there. So depending on the price action and how we open will be indicative of which one I'm going to play. SPX, I may be looking to play it as well. If we are currently on the 30-minute time frame, the 10 simple moving average is under the 50, and as long as we stay under the 50, I may look to get into some puts. I'm going to let the market open up a little bit, let the net flow develop, but on SPY and QQQ, we'll probably try a 3-minute orb on one of those. I will be calling the plays out live, and I will also be posting them in the Discord. If you haven't joined, please do so. It is free for now, and the link to it is in the description of this video. And if you guys haven't, please subscribe, hit the like button, share my content. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go over the disclaimer. The views expressed here are my own personal opinion and should be taken as such. Trading is risky. You should always have a plan and plan your trade. Nothing you see here is financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any type of security. You do so at your own risk. All that is going on here is an educational video for your viewing pleasure. So market's going to open in less than a minute. So good luck today, guys. If you have any questions, you can post them to Discord or into the YouTube chat. So on SPY, we'll be looking to try a 3-minute orb. Will be the first orb that we look at here. So we're going to wait for the first 3-minute candle to close since we're opening below yesterday's low and we've got some bulls trapped. And we're going to see how this plays out. And market opens in 5 seconds. And we are open. SPX is breaking under June 14th's low. If SPX goes under 36.94, the next level would be about 36.75. So we've got about 1.5 minutes on SPY before this first 3-minute candle closes. We have nice gap up areas here. So if we do get a break above those areas, we'll be looking at some calls. Gonna see how we play out here. Tesla had a pretty nice pop there to start with. Market net flow updating. We can see that calls right now are above puts. A lot of choppy price action here so far. We got about 20 seconds left on SPY on this first candle. Okay, there's our first candle. We're going to go ahead and draw our orb range. So we're looking for a candle closing above 370.94 or below 370.10. We are not going to enter prematurely. So we're going to wait for this candle to close before we make any drastic decisions here. AMD is breaking below June 14th's low. Wow, it just... So big flush down there. So let's look at this first 3-minute candle on AMD. That was a nice move down there. Look to see if we get a pullback here to about the 50% retracement level. SPY is breaking out of the orb. Tesla under the 200 MA on the 15-minute. I'm going to go with a Tesla 625 put. Trying to get a fill here. Filled. Having a big pullback there. That's a big old wick on Tesla. I'm going to give this a second to play itself out. We had a push down under the 200 MA, so the bears did give up, or the bulls did give up that level, so I'm going to give this position a second to play out. Okay, SPY, we are below the orb. So I'm going to look at, let's see, let's get a drawing here. Let's fib this out. Full on reversal. I recently switched brokers here and it's got me a little jacked up on the navigation. So I'm not going to enter on SPY. I'm going to watch Tesla here and see how this plays out. We did break below the 200 MA here on the 15-minute. So the bulls did give up that level. It was a bearish push down. But we are currently bouncing back up some here. Market net flow is all over the place here. So if Tesla breaks out over high of day or 677, if Tesla breaks above 677, I am going to stop out of this play. SPY bouncing off of pre-market low. The strike on Tesla was a 625 put. I am in at 575. Looking for a pushback down here. under the 200 MA on the 15 minute. And then based off of the first 5 minute candle, come on, give us a push under the 200. Tesla trade is back green. Needs to hold under this 200 MA level. A lot of choppy price action. Looking at the market net flow, calls and puts are both going straight up like a roller coaster going to the top. Really weird price action going on so far. Now we have calls and puts both leveling out. Wicks are super long on both sides here. Bulls and bears both fighting to maintain control. How are we looking over here on SPY? SPY did have a real big push down. I didn't get a pullback into the orb like I wanted to. So if we fib that first candle there, we didn't get a pullback into the 50. Let's look at the first 5 minute candle and refib it. So market net flow, we just had puts crossover calls. If we fib out this first 5 minute candle, I would like to see a pullback on SPY to get into some puts in about the somewhere in the range of the 38.2 retracement to the 61.8. Flow is all over the place. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 crosses so far this morning. And if we draw a orb on Tesla for the first 5-minute candle, we are right in the middle of it. Choppy price action so far this morning. All around the board. Even looking at the VIX here, super choppy price action. Look how long these wicks are on the bottom. Now we just had another crossover on the market net flow, puts above the calls. SPY, we're getting a pullback here. Looking for a pullback to about the 38.2. Still holding tight in this Tesla trade. Market is indecisive right now. Huge wicks on each side. The flow for the entire market shows the same thing. QQQ here, big Hulk candle. If we pass the 100% retracement level, might be looking to get some calls, but right now I am looking at some puts. I'm in at 282. Tesla still wick city here. Puts climbing higher on the market net flow. Calls kind of leveling out a little bit. Those QQQ contracts are up. We're up about 5%. We're up about 8% on those QQQ contracts. Tesla turning back slightly green. We're up about 15% on QQQ. Feel free to lock some profits. I currently have a sell set for $350 for half of my contracts. I only have 2. Currently up 16%. Looking for a push below low of day. We're up 18% on QQQ. Tesla trade is back green as well. I sold half of QQQ there at 330. I adjusted over 15% profits. Tesla, big push down there. That's what we're looking for. Big push down. We're up about 20% on the QQQ trade. Look at that. Perfectly bouncing off the 50% extension on the Fibonacci. I am going to set a sell for QQQ at $4, and I am going to move my stop for my last contract to my entry price of $282. I have set up a bracket order in E-Trade and OCO order that allows me to set a limit and a stop all in the same order. So I'm just going to let that one ride. So looking for a push lower to low of day. Nice little 20% gain on QQQ there. Tesla moving lower here, up about 6%. QQQ's up about 25. We're up about 30% almost here on QQQ. 28% roughly. So please lock some profits. Like I said, I have my sale set for $4 and my stop loss is at entry. So this is a free play. I am going to let it play out. So we did break to a new low of day here on QQQ. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my Fibonacci from the low to the high before this previous candle. So I would like to target 614's low, which is about 273.30. Puts on market net flow and momentum growing very, very heavy. So what we're going to do here on Tesla, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to change our Fibonacci drawing from the high to the low. So 654.45. I'm going to go ahead and give that as my current target, about the 654 area, which lines up to yesterday's low. So Tesla pushing lower here. QQQ is also pushing lower, 273.36. Like I said, I have a sell in at $4. Stop loss is at entry. So going to check the Trading Chicks bots in the Discord. Looking at the market and Tesla with less than 5 days to expiration here. Both puts are rampant. Momentum for puts is huge, and calls are pretty much flat, are going down. So QQQ pushing lower here. Wick back up. Have multiple times to secure profit at about 25%. Put market net flow is just huge now since this market cross. Calls are flat. Might look at this retracement here on SPY. Let me redraw our fib. So I'd like to tap the 61.8. Seeing if we get a retrace here to the 61.8 retracement on SPY. So I'm going to go ahead and set an alert here to see if we get that. Let's change our Fibonacci here. We're going to go from the daily high to the low. QQQ looking to move lower here. Tesla also moving lower. We're up 30% now on these QQQs. Over 31%. Tesla is above 10%. We need VIX down here to keep spiking, but calls are pretty much non-existent in the market. Net flow here. Using this as sentiment and conviction to stay in the trade. So we're up 32% on QQQ now. 36. So there was our target, 273.30 area. The low of this candle was 273.30. So pretty good there. I had, like I said, I have a sell set for $4. How are we looking over here on SPY? We didn't get to my 61.8. SPX. I would like to get above the 50% here, so I'm going to add that alert. Market net flow, we did just have a nice pop in calls down here, but puts are also still increasing. I'd like to see a push below the 14th low. Then $271 on QQQ looks to be about the next level down from the daily time frame. SPY still didn't get my pullback. SPX is currently building a bear flag. QQQ moving a little bit lower here. We would like a break under June 14th's low. We would like the bulls to give up that level for a push lower. Calls dropping off here. There we go. We're under 614's low. And now since we have broken through that support level, we should see a bigger move down. So those contracts currently up about 36%. Like I said, I have a sell set at $4. We're about 10 cents off for my fill. And was filled. We are all out of QQQ at $4. Now we are still in Tesla here. Bouncing off of yesterday's low, 654.50. So I don't really like how Tesla is moving here, so we probably get up to about 10 and lock some of the profit in. I only have one contract. Let's look at SPY and SPX here. So SPY did move lower there. SPX Tesla, we need a push under yesterday's low. If we check the bot for Tesla, please use these bots if you're not. Tesla pushing down some more here, looking for a new low of day. Tesla is rampant with puts. VIX, checking out the VIX here, is at resistance. We need a break over this level. We need a break over 32.20. So we'll set an alert for 32.21. I'd like to see a push over this, and then we can continue up. But as of right now, it looks like we might be rejecting at this level. Not sure yet. Redraw my fib here from SPY's high to low. Looking like the market wants lower. Would really like to see a push down here on Tesla below yesterday's low. Currently building a bull flag, looking at the 5-minute time frame. And here comes our push down, hitting that support again. QQQ looking like it's moving lower here. What is the VIX doing? The VIX is still attempting to break out here. We need a push above this resistance on the VIX. 32.21. Needs a little bit higher of a push here. There we go. Tesla under yesterday's low. Those contracts are up about 11%. We did give up yesterday's low. $653 area would be your next price target. Big wick back up there on Tesla. VIX did break out of that level, but is now being pushed back down. So we need to see if this holds on the VIX. For SPX, SPY, and QQQ, I would like to see some type of little pullback here to the 5 EMA and think about entering some more puts. Just remember the 5 EMA, 8 EMA, the price will always retrace back to that line. You can use that as conviction to stay in a trade. The bulls are still trying to hold yesterday's low on Tesla. We did break through that area, but now they are trying to hold it and not give it up. So SPY is touching the 5 EMA there. Going to be looking at some 366 puts. I am filled on those 366 puts at 372. On SPY, for my stop, I am going, if the 5 EMA, your blue line here, crosses back over the 13 MA, I will exit the trade. Looking for a new low of day here on SPY. That trade is back green, just barely up about 3%. We tapped about 5% on that SPY trade there. Looking for a push lower here. It's all about perspective, so this could technically be, looking at the 10-minute chart, this could technically be a double bottom, or it could also be a bear flag. You have to remember that there's tons of other people looking at the same charts as you, and one person might identify it one way, and a different person may identify it a different way. So they are placing their buys and sells with that information, and not everyone is going to see the same thing. put flow on market net flow is still trending upwards. The SPY price, which is the white line here, is not really drastically, but it's getting lower slowly. Calls aren't really doing a whole lot, so remaining patient here. Let's see how this plays out. Going to check the bot currently for the market for less than 5 days to expiration and for Tesla. Both puts greatly above calls. Calls flat and both negative net premiums. Momentum, both negative. A little bit of a pop here on SPY. Pulling back off of the 38.2 retracement, or the 13 MA, your yellow line here. So what is popping SPY? Microsoft's having a little pop here. I'm going to, I may average down here on this SPY if we get up to the 61.8, because that seems to be a pretty strong resistance area from earlier today. I want to give these trades a little room to breathe, but I think the little pop is coming from VIX failing to break out here. So we had this big resistance here on VIX at around 32.20 area. We briefly broke it and went to 32.27 and then pushed back down. I don't think the uptrend will hold for long, from what I'm seeing from the price action. It's currently trying to break out of the downtrend, though. I will give SPY that. Almost perfect retrace to the 50% retracement. Our conviction is still high for further downtrend with the market net flow sentiment, with puts being so high above the calls. So just going to remain patient here and give these plays a little bit of room to breathe. We did have, looking at market net flow, we do have a slight drop off on puts here, but calls still remain rather flat. Choppy price action overall. Nothing really fluid and in a great trend. So like I said, I would like to see a push possibly on SPY or SPX to the 61.8 retracement. And there I would probably load some more puts. Can you not hear me talking? Anybody else having issues hearing? So nobody can hear me, or it's mixed. Okay, cool. SPY bouncing off the top of that channel, also the 50% retracement, and we're pushing back down. So VIX down here in my subgraph seems to be making a little move back up again. We need that to continue and break out above that resistance to see lower lows. So right now with this choppy price action, I personally am not going to enter any more trades right now. I want to see how these play out and see if we develop more of a trend. What we can see here is on the net flow, our momentum is still negative for the put side. We did have a slight drop off on puts, but then they turned right back around, and calls are still flat, holding at about a positive 6 million. What puts are up about 16.5 million, so about 10.5 million more. If anyone hasn't subscribed, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit the like, leave a comment. Interaction is great for trying to grow a YouTube channel. And if you haven't joined the Discord, the link is in the description of this video. It is free for now. Daily callouts, one-on-one chat and talking, whatever. You can ask questions. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And we have the Tradie Ticks bots, which cost about $200 a month, free of charge for now. So please learn to use them. They are a great tool for building conviction and studying options flow. Should have locked profit on Tesla at about 10%, but I was holding for about 15%. Currently down about 23% on that trade. But like I said, with the current market sentiment, with the net flow, I think we do move lower. I'm just being patient here. Don't want to exit a trade and not give it a little bit of room to breathe here with this high conviction. I mean, if we had some choppy market net flow, it would be a different story. But with puts this high above calls, it's just screaming to me that we're going to move lower. And looking at SPY here, we haven't really seen a drastic move lower. I mean, we've moved roughly from open. The high of the first candle was about 371, and we moved down to about 367.40. I think we've got a much lower move coming. If we go in here, let's pull up where are we at? So SPY. Let's go in here and look at SPY. On Tradie Ticks. So biggest Gex level right now is about 370, 368, and then 365. I could possibly see a move down if we break below the low of day to the 365 area, but we have an even bigger Gex at 360, and these bigger Gex levels tend to act as a magnet. Let's see. So expiry for 7/15. Looking at these contracts, that is basically 1 month away, July 15th. We have $18.3 million worth of 350 puts. And then we have on this same expiration about almost 18 million worth of 370 puts. So to me, that we're going to land somewhere in between 350 to 370 here. So then for we have 362 for the 15th of about 7 million, 354 for about 6.5. So a lot of the big whales playing around with the big money are anticipating a move lower, in my opinion. But these contracts are dated about a month out. So let's see how this unfolds. We have a big pop here in more puts moving higher and calls moving lower. The momentum did increase down to the negative side some more, excuse me. So, like I said, anticipating a much bigger move down. So, and if we go in here, let's also look at Tesla and see what big contracts are making some noise. What are the whales sitting on? So Tesla, GEX levels 650, 640, and then the really big one is 600. The bigger the level, the bigger the magnet. So I'll let you interpret that. So for 624, we have some 650 calls. So I'm not really worried about that. We got about 6.47 million. And then expiring 617, which is tomorrow, we have about 7.6 million worth of 650 puts. Those are pretty close, but they're both relatively close to being in the money either way. So not a whole lot going on there. We've got some 660 puts, 600 puts of 2 million, 700 calls for 2.26. So both the Tesla and SPY trades are back green. Looking for a push below low of day. QQQ has a new low of day. SPY has not broken low of day yet. We need Tesla. We do have VIX breaking out as well. Watching the VIX, we broke above the 3220 resistance there. And if we flip over here and we look at the 1 hour, it's about 3260 area should be our next resistance. 3263. So we've got about a 23-cent move here. So SPY is currently up about 6%. So I have 2 of those contracts. I currently have a sell set on SPY for 450, looking for a push below low of day. We keep coming back down and retesting these bottom levels here. And puts are still increasing over here on the market net flow. Grim asked, what's up with the blue-red channel that was up on your chart? So what that is that's called a regression channel. So you come over here you click the line that typically has your trend line, which would be the second button down on your drawing tools, and you use a regression trend, and you basically just pick a high and pick a low, and then it automatically puts a regression channel there. And typically, most of the time, you will see the price action completely stay inside of the regression channel. So SPY will probably come back down to the bottom here, and then you'll see a slight reversal. It doesn't always work out like that, but it is good to see when you are at the high or the middle or the low of the regression channel. So SPY tapping about 10% there on that contract. So sending a message to Discord to take profits whenever you are comfortable. Please don't wait for me to say that I took profit. I have a sell set on SPY currently for 450 for my first contract. So I am letting the play itself out. But if we can see here, the blue line coming down, let me get rid of this. So the blue line coming down is the 5 EMA, and then the 5 EMA tried to break over the 13 MA, and then it rejected. SPY new low of day here. Those contracts up about 12%. So 365 should act as a magnet to the downside. Let's look at Tesla here. Tesla trying to push down to a low of day. 13% on those SPY contracts. Tesla did break to new low of day. 653.34. About a 20-cent lower. So we need to push down here under 653 area, and then we can see a bigger move down. SPY is up 15%. SPY moving lower. VIX is continuing to break out. So we're at about 18% profit here on SPY. Like I said, I have a sell set for 450. We're about 12 cents off from my fill level. Let's see if we get a new low. $365 would be the next Gex level. Market net flow significantly increasing, but we did just dip a little right there. So if we put our regression channel back up, we can see that we came lower towards the bottom of the channel, and then we bounce back up. So it is a pretty nifty tool if you would like to scalp. If the trend is following an algorithmic methodology, which SPY and QQQ usually do, because the regular retail trader like me, you, and everybody else doesn't have the power to move these big indexes or these big mega caps. So the whales or the computers are actually moving them. It is good to use for scalping. When it gets to the bottom of the channel, you could enter some calls, and if it breaks out of the channel, then you can enter some puts. Come on, let me get a feel. 450. I may just go ahead and change this sell here, but I'm trying to let this play work itself out. I don't want to go back on my profit target. Let's see, how's Tesla looking here? Tesla retraced to the 5 EMA, and then the bears pushed it back down. So we're about 10 cents off from a fill here on SPY. Please lock some profits. 443. SPY, new low of day. Almost got a fill here on these contracts. Off by 1 penny. Come on, pop back down. Let me get that fill. $4.48, or 2 cents from being filled. There we go, filled. $4.50. 20% gains on that SPY play there. Went ahead and locked half. So please lock some profit. Calls falling off a cliff here. Big fall down on calls. Puts still rampant. We're going to see a bigger move down here. So targeting about 365 area on SPY. So what I'm going to do is I am going to set an OCO bracket order. One cancels the other. So I'm going to set a limit sell at $5, and I am going to set a stop loss above my entry price at $4. So this is a risk-free trade. Tesla, new low of day. So for my last SPY contract, I have set a limit sell for $5, and I have set a stop at the same time at $4. So if I get stopped out, it'll be above my entry price. So I will still stop out in the green. SPY contracts tapped about 30% there for a second. Let's look at Tesla here. Tesla did break to new low of day. Looking for a push below a 650. So about 12 cents away from getting filled on SPY here at 5 on that last contract. So looking for a push down to about this 365 area. If we extend our channel here, hell yeah, Black. I love to hear it, man. Post them gains. Anybody else that took some trades, post them, please. I would greatly appreciate it. I'd like everybody to make money. Everybody makes the money. So today is about sticking to a plan, using stop losses. Tesla did let go a little bit past the 25% conventional stop that I would like to use, but currently in the green for the day. So let's check the net flow for Tesla and the market for less than 5 days. Tesla is very rampant on puts. Very, very rampant. If you check the TradyTix bot channel for the last 2 queries that I just put up, you will see that both puts and are very, very rampant. So we're looking to get a fill here on this other SPY contract. So we're very close. It literally tapped 5 and we didn't get filled. Looking for a push on SPY. Tradie flow alert coming in for UPST for 1750 puts from about 565 grand. It is elite for January 20th, 2023. I currently am not interested in any leaps. The market is too unpredictable right now. So we did have calls slightly go positive here above the 0 baseline, but still very, very low compared to the puts. Puts are now above, if I can get this to show me. Puts are above 25 million. I can't get the pop-up to work. So if we draw a regression channel here on Tesla, we can see that we've wicked out of it a little bit, but that's about it. I would like to see below 650 here. And then we would target 644. And 635 from the daily time frame. So we have another tradie flow alert coming in for IBM for August 19th for 1 million for $130 puts. There's just not enough volume on IBM for me to really be interested in this thing. It trades overall flat. I mean, it does move here and there, but I mean, looking at the options chain, there's barely any volume on any of the contracts. I mean, we've got some open interest, but the volume is just overall low, so I'm not interested. Tesla, looking for, like I said, a break below a 650 is what I would like to see. So I'm going to set an alert. SPY, we pulled back immediately, so this would be a good entry right here if you would want to scalp some contracts. So we push down lower here. So let me get the drawing pencil out, or an arrow. So we push lower right here, and then the price pushed back up to the 5 EMA, to your blue line there. So when we touched the 5 EMA or broke above it briefly, you could have grabbed some puts right there. And then we should see a push down lower here. That's not how it always works out, but that's a pretty good scalping strategy. And you can use the 5 EMA or the 8 EMA. So Tesla currently building a bear flag here. So you can see that we've got a flagpole and we've got our flag being built. We should see a push lower. It's not how it always happens, but more than not, patterns typically hold true. So we should see a push lower here. So are we going to get our push lower here? Looking for Tesla under 650. Are we going to bottom out? So like I said, on this last SPY contract I have a limit sell in for $5, and I also have a stop in at 4, which is above my entry price. So that is an OCO order. Webull is supposed to be bringing it sometime this month, but Thinkorswim, E-Trade, several other platforms like that support it. So VIX looks like it's hitting a little bit of resistance here. It just blew past that other resistance. So where are we at? So 33.63. We're currently right about here. Going to redraw my Fibonacci here on SPX. We're going to look at this leg in particular, which would be, so we had a low, a little bit of reversal, a low, then a little bit of reversal again. So I personally would like to see a pullback to the 13 MA, about the 50% or the 61.8, to go long on some puts. But if we continue with this downtrend today, I don't think we're going to get that. So really like to see Tesla here under 650. So this could be a triple bottom, or this could be, you know, like I said, it could be a bear flag. So you got your flagpole and your flag here. Or if you look at it from a different perspective, it could be a triple bottom. So it's all dependable on what somebody else is anticipating it as, because you may be looking at it completely different than they have. You always need to keep that in mind. So that's why a lot of patterns don't hold true like they're supposed to. So we are going to adjust our fib here. You can adjust fibs at any time. We're going to go from a high to the low point of this last leg. And I personally feel that this is a bear flag, not to sound biased, but with the current market sentiment, the momentum, and with how big the puts are over the calls, I think we're going to see a bigger move down here. So SPY also showing a bear flag. So flagpole, flag, R. Like I said, different perspective. We could have a 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 bottom. I mean, dealer's choice. So, Will Snipe Selly on Discord said if we plot the fib from yesterday's high to yesterday's low, we are currently at the right around the 50% extension here. So I'm not saying where you're drawing it from. You're saying we're at the 161.8. Yeah, I mean, you can draw the Fibonacci on single candles. You can draw it on any time frame you want. Just needs to, for looking at the levels from the downside, you need to draw from the high to the low, and for looking for levels to the upside, the low to the high. So, but I mean, if we take one candle, for instance, I just want to use this as an example as we have this slow price action. So if we get rid of this regression channel and we take a look at this 5-minute candle right here, this outside bar, this white candle, and I draw it from the low to the high. And now if I come back over here to the 1 minute, you will see that inside of that 5-minute candle that there is a Fibonacci going on. So it is drawn from here, from this low, to this high. But yet we pull back to the 61.8, and then we retrace to the 61.8, and then we extend or move back up to the 38.2. Now we move back down to the 61.8. Algos have to be coded some type of way to understand how to trade. So But there is literally a Fibonacci going on inside every single time frame candle all the time. I currently have my sales set on Tesla for $7 for that one contract I have. So it's currently at about $6.50 a contract. So I'm looking for a big push down here under 650. This level keeps getting tested here. Eventually it is just going to give. So if you look at level 2, you could probably see all the shares getting snatched at that price or bought and pushing it back up, holding it there. But eventually those will run out. Lots of demand at that level, at the 650 level, which is psychological. I've heard of Bookmap, but I've never personally used it. I didn't know if it was on Toss. I thought it was on like an actual website by itself. I'll have to check that out. Little pop on SPY here. Might get stopped out on this remaining contract. Stop is at $4 above entry. Looks to probably be another fake out or scam wick. And stopped out on SPY. So SPY is retracing here to the 61.8. I want to see how this candle closes, and I may re-enter some puts here. Personally, right now, I'm not swinging anything because of how unpredictable the market is. So SPX, we're almost at the 61.8. Calls just fell off the map on market net flow. I'm going with some 3600 SPX puts. That expire today. This is a high risk, high reward play. Really big stop loss in at 86 cents. So I'm looking at SPX for the retracement here. So I drew my fib from this leg's high down to the low here. We retrace to the 61.8. And I believe we will see a pushback down now, especially with the market net flow and puts being so high and calls falling off the map here. These expire today. Up 7% on those SPXs, 10%. %. 27% on SPX there. So calls falling even more. They are at negative 10 million now. So calls falling off the map. In the past about 6 minutes, we've literally gone from positive net flow on calls down to under 10 million. 10.6. SPX tapped right at about 27% there for a second. Currently sitting at about 22% profit. Back at 27. %33, 36. SPX pushing lower here. Sold one for $1.25. Over 40% gains there. Went ahead and locked in some. I'm going to set a sell on another contract at $1.50. SPX moving lower here. Give us a big red candle down. So we're over 50% on SPX. 56. Have a sale set for $1.50. Market net flow, our momentum is building here for puts. They are still progressively going up, and calls have dropped down, sitting at about negative 11 million and kind of flattened out for the second. SPY, perfect retrace to the 61.8 there. And push back down. The power of Fibonacci is great. Let's look at the mega caps. Microsoft, Apple, SPX is back to pretty much break even. So should have went ahead and locked all profits. That is my mistake. Greed is a real sumbitch in this game. It's you against yourself. You always need to remember that. Either you're trying to take somebody else's lunch money or they're going to take yours. Those are the two scenarios. But overall, it's you against you. The market is just displaying information. It has no bullish or bearish sentiment. It is just lines on a page. And how you take advantage of those lines is strictly up to you. So here's another perspective moment. So if we look at this, we either have a bull flag, pretty bull flag here, or we have a double top, or technically could be a triple top. It's all about how you perceive it. Puts still rising now, 30 million, 32.5 million on the net premiums, and calls have dropped to negative 10.8 million and kind of flattened out. So for SPX, SPY, QQQ, stuff like that, you always want to keep an eye on Apple, Microsoft, Tesla. So Microsoft is pumping a little bit here. Apple currently bull flagging or topping out in a consolidation. Tesla is still technically kind of in a bear flag here. Consolidating down here in this area. Yeah, should have not let that SPX trade go. Red was up over 50%, now down 20%. That is one thing that you can always improve on. I haven't met a trader that still doesn't deal with greed, even if they are a professional trader. So what is pumping SPX? I mean, Apple's moving a little bit. Microsoft, I mean, but not that big of a move. So it's, if I had to guess, it's probably the VIX falling off a cliff here is why we're getting this pump. But with the market net flow still showing the way that it is, I am remaining patient here and seeing how this plays out. This to me seems like a little bit of a VIX pump, but I mean, with puts above 30 million and calls down right at 11 million in the red, I mean, just gonna hold tight. I'm gonna check the bots, see how we're looking here for less than 5 days to expiration. So looking at the market, less than 5 days to expiration, calls are way down. Puts are about 10 million. And Tesla calls are right around 0, about neutral. And puts are right around 4 million. So SPX retraced right to the 88.6 and then pulled back. This 100% level seems, this 100% retracement is a pretty big resistance here on the day. But like I said, I think all these pops are not going to last long, as we can see here. Price moving back down. But if the Fibonacci doesn't show you exactly what I'm trying to portray and what I've learned from Fibonacci, check out Trading Wars on YouTube. I can't recommend the guy enough. He has great content. Trading Wars with a Z. But if we, like I said, if we draw our fib from this last downtrend leg before the price reversed, we can see we had a push down here, and then the price retraced to the 61.8, tested the 61.8 level, then we retraced some more to like the 88.6, and now we're pushing back down. So I mean, these levels, I mean, are pretty self-evident if you learn how to use fib. They're great for scalping. Oops. We seem to kind of be consolidating down here. We're not really pushing up or down right now, but if we look at the 15-minute time frame here on Tesla, we can see that this flag is still pretty rampant. I still think we're going to move lower here. And if we look at SPX from a 15-minute standpoint, you know, we're missing a bunch of data because it trades after hours, but I haven't been able to get any data on TradingView or E-Trade or Webull. Somebody said interactive brokers you can trade it on after that time, but I personally have not. Supposedly it's almost tradable 24 hours a day. Depending on how these two trades play out in the next 27 minutes, I will probably be ending the stream. Gonna grab some lunch, and we'll probably call it for a day. Would like to see both of these trades go back in the green and lock some profits. So SPX is a prime example of being up 50% and just being greedy and letting that 50% completely disappear back to a negative trade. There's no other word for it except stupid. So I was stupid. So VIX spiking off of prior resistance, now turned into support at about the 3260 area. Yeah, I still think we're going to see a push lower, honestly. There's not enough volume to the upside at all. There's not enough volume really in either way, and normally in low volume situations, price seems to just go down. You don't really go up when there's low volume. Tesla trade is about break even, still looking for a break out of this bear flag. So we could redraw it here. So here's our consolidation area. Right here. And here's our nice flagpole. We're looking for a push down. We're looking for a break of this bottom trend line and a push lower. Calls still flat on market net flow. Momentum is dropping a little bit. If we bring in the algo flow is huge down to the put side. And just kind of chilling right this second. Anticipating a move out of these consolidation zones. Volume is super low. Let's see here. Volume just seems to be getting lower and lower. Let's look at Tesla. Yep. Beginning volume started out good in about the first 30 minutes of the day, and then the volume has just been deteriorating drastically. You talking about the picture behind me? This office is split between me and my wife. She does her side t-shirt business and vinyl stuff in here, and that is one of her photos. It is a angel woman and a devil woman facing each other. So you can use the imagination for the rest. SPX not breaking out of this level, still holding right around the 61.8 retracement level. Tesla looks like we might be getting a bigger move down here, but we're still holding in this consolidation area. SPX is slightly back green again. %, green on SPX. 13%. Tesla also went back green. Give us a push lower under 650. Come on, Tesla, give it up. Give it up. A new low of day there on Tesla. Come on, give us 650. Break 650. Push us down. Come on. 650.05, 08. It's holding 650, that psychological level. Come on, flush us. SPX is back up 33%. Come on, push us to new low of day here on SPX. That would be sweet. Tesla under 650. Tesla up 10%. Tesla pushing lower, 648. Now I'm targeting 644 on Tesla. I didn't get a fill on SPX by like 2 or 3 pennies. Tesla up about 12%. Tesla up 15% to new low of day there. Targeting 644. Tesla at 15%. I have a sell set for $7. Trying to get out of this trade at about 7. Tesla pushing lower. Changing my sell on Tesla to 675. I don't like this price action. See if I get a fill. And filled on Tesla at 675 on that new low of day break. I am all out of that position. Now SPX, let's see where we're at here. Up about 25%. Trying to cancel the open orders I have for SPX. Looks like I'm not going to get them canceled in time. I canceled my orders for SPX and I set a sell to sell one other contract at 115. Let's see if we get a fill here. Filled on that SPX at about 30%. I have another sell in at $1.40. SPX pushing lower here. I'm looking to close the rest of these SPX contracts at $1.10, all out. So, done for the day. I don't like the price action. We're coming up on 12 o'clock. I don't want to trade past 12 o'clock. So, all trades taken today were green. We had QQQ. Let's see. Let's see if I can figure this out. How to show me I'm trying to see if we can see. Yeah, SPX 5-minute does look like it's bear flagging and has room to drop, but I didn't like the price action, and we're coming up on 12 o'clock. And it currently has a head and shoulders currently showing, but I'm good. So, not going to be any more greedy. I let that trade go from 50% to red, so I'm just going to take my profits and run. But anyway, we had QQQ today, green, SPX green, SPY green, and Tesla green. SPX we did let go red from 50%, which was a mistake, and Tesla we let go past the negative 25% stop loss, but we did come out green with that play. Overall today, $518 profit. Not a bad day. So if you guys enjoyed the stream, please hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you haven't, please join the Discord. The link is in the description of this video. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Thanks for tuning in.